President Trump has had his fair share of criticism for his response to Russia's meddling in our elections. But today at the White House, his administration announced they're taking major steps to put an end to it. The nation's top law enforcement and intelligence officials addressed increasing reports that Russia is continuing to try to interfere with our politics. And they said they're working together to combat those efforts.
The president has specifically directed us to make the matter of the election meddling and securing our election process a top priority, and we have done that and are doing that and will continue to do so.
Director of National Intelligence Dan Coats joined National Security Advisor John Bolton and the heads of the FBI, the DHS, and the NSA to say their agencies are working with private sector partners to identify and neutralize cyber attacks and other attempts to target the midterm elections. So, will they be successful? Let's ask former Special Assistant to President Trump and former press secretary for Vice President Pence, Marc Lotter. Marc, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Tom.
So what went down today? Did we learn anything new from all of these security advisors?
I think the biggest thing we saw today, and it's important to remember, 2 years ago in August of 2016, Susan Rice told the national security and the cybersecurity experts to stand down to stop the counter attacks that we were working to block Russia from meddling in the election. Today, you saw the Trump administration publicly stand up, something they've been doing behind the scenes for quite some time in dealing with that ongoing cyber activity from Russia and working to counter it.
And, you know, on the issue of getting, having these protections put in place, let's contrast what's going on now with what happened under President Obama, because we've been hearing from this White House, well, we're certainly doing more than Obama did when we had meddling in 2016.
Absolutely. And as you saw that today compared to 2 years ago, but you've also had this administration that has sanctioned Russian business leaders, government officials, and other actors on behalf of Russia who attacked our country in 2016. We still see it going on. But here's the thing. You've got 50 states that are running these elections, because elections are a state matter, not a federal matter. So what you saw today was our national security leaders saying how they are working with all 50 states, 900 local communities, in how to secure their election infrastructure to make sure that it is not vulnerable to cyber attack.
You know, I never liked, Marc, the term meddling in our elections. Then it became things like, interfered with our elections. A lot of the impression that the American people got in this whole thing was that somehow there were votes being changed and that there were, tallies changed by the Russians and things like that. That's never really been a concern of our national security people, has it?
Absolutely not, and it was reiterated today from the White House podium that no votes were changed in the 2016 election. And from what we can tell, other than their misinformation campaigns using social media, they've tried to get into some of the voter registration systems, but that's quite different than the actual voter systems where the ballots are cast and counted. Those are very secure, but we need to do more to make sure they're even more secure in the future, because this could just be an opening salvo, testing the waters from Russia and other actors, seeing how far they can get with possibly an eye toward 2020. So that's why they're taking such a very strong stand right now.
Also, I think the Director Coats said that the efforts that are going on now are nothing compared to the more robust efforts that happened in 2016. Could they just be doing meddling now just to keep this conversation going, to make people nervous for the fall so that maybe people will be unsure about the results of the election, the meddling, just to once again attack our democracy?
And ultimately, that's what we see them attempting to do, is to sow division, sow confusion into our democracy. It's not necessarily about changing votes. It's getting Americans to fight with each other. It's getting discussions and pitting groups against each other to create that sense of distrust. That's one of the reasons why you see such a strong focus on the social media component of this. But we also need to make sure that our state and local governments have secure infrastructure so there is no possible way that they could infiltrate and actually tamper with an election result.
Also, Marc, a lot of the focus on 2016 was the intelligence community said that they were trying to hurt Hillary Clinton and benefit Donald Trump. But their efforts so far this year It looks like they're involved in a lot of groups, Antifa groups, things like that, different messaging on Facebook. It doesn't seem to be any kind of pro-Trump effort. Did they mention anything today about that?
Not that I heard of, and they were asked specifically that question, and they were not able to identify, or chose not to identify, any kind of a specific group or party that they're trying to support. But this also continues a trend we saw after the 2016 election, because one of the Intelligence Committee reports highlighted how Russia was actually encouraging pro and anti-Trump rallies at the same time following the election of the president, because their ultimate goal is to create distrust and confusion in our country. It's not necessarily about electing candidates.
Yeah. Thanks, Mark. And I think that's true that even back in 2016, I think the division was the focus more than the Hillary Trump. Thanks a lot.